If you're strong enough to lift that weight, you're strong enough to put that weight back. Always practice safe sets.
Welcome back, YouTube. We're gonna go through my push workout. I'm gonna explain why I like this workout and why I think it optimizes for physical needs and performance. Right now we're just doing some warm-up sets with the dumbbell incline. These are only 40 pounds and we're just gonna max it out on reps. So you should definitely warm up, right? The best way to build chest is to already have it loose and not stiff. This way you can lift heavier weights and be able to tear the microfibers in your chest a lot more. And this way you're also, since it's already loose, you're not as likely for injury. So definitely warm up. But another reason I like doing incline dumbbell, because the idea is that dumbbells really work on growing your muscles. They're great for structuring the build for specifically chest, I think. And I grow my chest a lot with dumbbells. I grew it massively. My chest now versus when I started with just barbells has changed drastically. I can't even explain it. I used to have the flattest chest, and dumbbells really helped me. And I really also think a lot of incline movement on your chest instead of doing flat movement is also really beneficial. I don't know why, it just grew my chest a lot, and so I stay away from flat movements. The only flat movement I will kind of do is dips, and that's not a push, that's more for triceps, but you feel it in your chest, it works out your chest. With these heavier weights, it's definitely a good idea to have a belt on, and I just got these new straps for Christmas, and the straps are supposed to help you lift heavier weights. I use them a lot for deadlifts. I don't know if they're ideal for dumbbell and barbell bench presses or incline benches, but we're going to go ahead and try it out. If we don't like it, we don't use them. But we also got the 50s, and I went from 40 to 50, big jump. We're going to go ahead and try to hit 8 reps, and then we're going to go down if we don't like it. Normally I use the 50s, but sometimes I use the 45s or even the 40s in my weight. It all depends on the chest, and you really got to go with what you feel and try not to strain yourself. We're not ego lifting. Leave the ego at the door. We lift what works and what we need to build muscle without injuring ourselves. And now I'm actually kind of scared. My chest is kind of sore today, but we got it up pretty easy, and the belt definitely helps, I think. The straps are kind of cumbersome. I can't just squeeze the bar. I want to squeeze it as tight as I can, and I can't because my grip's a lot wider. And I don't know if I kind of felt like it impacted my movement just because of how wide, thick my grip was. But 50, it's definitely feeling heavy. My form's starting to get off. I'm realizing that as I'm doing this. And once your form starts getting off, you're not going to work your chest as much or work the muscle as much for anything as long as your form's not good. I mean, on lat pull downs, I could probably pull down 200, but it's not going to do anything for me. And so I'm tired. It did kind of hurt my chest. And so I think it'd be better to optimize lower weight with better form. So we're going to go grab the 45s.
Guys, come on. Now a person wants to work out, come here, put my own weights away, have to put some other person's weight away is thinking. If you're strong enough to lift that weight, you're strong enough to put that weight back. That really irritates me at times. I don't know if this is just me, but when I'm using these bands, I forget what these are actually called. It's just little things to me. I have to use the same one. I can't use what this guy did and use this one and this one. I have to use either this one or this one. And personally, I prefer these. So, if you want that one. I also gave my weights a number that I wouldn't consider equal lifting. I mean, I guess you could consider it trying to show off the number, but I always have to my weights out this way, where you're not seeing this, you're seeing this. I don't know why. I always feel like it's not the basic fighter. I'm gonna go ahead and put some.
For whatever reason, today, when I'm doing my chest workout, I'm realizing that my chest is still sore. I definitely didn't warm up all the way properly, and my weights are reflecting it. Normally, I'll start with the 25s, and I'll work up to 35, but this workout, you'll see later, I can only get 30 pounds, and I go back down to 20.
Normally, I would go up 5 more pounds and go to 30 pounds on each side, hitting 105. I mean, I'm not that strong. I look good, I'm physical, and I look athletic and muscular, but I'm not that strong. Normally, I would go to my top being 35 to 40 and do 1 more reps, but my chest feels really sore, and I'm gonna stick with 25s for now and hopefully I can warm it up. But I just don't want to injure myself. So we're gonna keep the 25s and don't ego lift. That's what I'm trying not to do here. I really want to put this on, but I know 90 pounds, 95 pounds is good for me right now so I don't hurt myself versus going to 35s, 115 where I'm risking injury. And I don't have a spotter, because I like to go in this private room where there's typically 1 or 2 people. So I don't have a spotter, so I don't want to risk it. So I'm gonna keep this off, keep the 25s on. Don't ego lift. The ego stays at the door. I am going to see if these work. I did on the dumbbells, I didn't really feel it. So I'm going to go ahead and try these 1 more time. And maybe I won't use these again. I don't know if I can do these. I know these are really good for deadlifts, but I actually don't deadlift that often. Plus, these are also really cumbersome, I think. With more time, focusing on how racked up they are. And then you gotta do on this side, with the other hands around that. I don't like these. I'll keep them for deadlifts, but I think that's the only thing they're good for. Maybe bicep back, not bicep,
I'm realizing that I have plenty of time. It's only about 1 o'clock. I know I have class at 2:50. If wanted to, I could do a full chest workout, and specifically chest, and just do 2 more exercises of dips, then flat bench press. Then I would optimize a chest workout, but I wouldn't do push workout. I wouldn't work on my triceps or my shoulders. But since I have more time, I think it's better to optimize a push workout instead of a pro split. And that's kind of what's going through my brain right now. And there's also the idea of form, and my chest is hurting. There's a lot going in your mind. So when you're doing these exercises that are just for high rep intensity, sometimes it's better not to think on what you're doing. Think on the future and what you're going to do with the rest of the workout. Just my tip. You really want to optimize your form here, and there's a couple different ways to do flies. There is just the standing on the knees, where you're straight parallel with them, or there is the lunge, and I prefer to bottom of the personally. I feel like I work on the chest more, and I feel like it makes it easier. That's just me. I do wish I could have just used regular dips, so body weight dips, so I couldn't find it. And people were in the gym doing stuff, so I use this machine. I don't like it as much, but it does the job. So you can't see it, but I have the equivalent of the resistance, the assistance that's on there. I have a dumbbell, so I'm still getting my weight. And this way I'm doing a body weight workout. You should always include some kind of form of calisthenics in your workout.
Okay, so we're going to do a superset here. 3 sets on each of these. One of them, the first superset, is going to be tricep extensions. We're going to go ahead and put that on. And then, switching to the other side, the other exercise, a supersetted exercise, is going to be, let's switch this. This one, okay, sit down. We're gonna use this one. This, we're gonna do overhead extension. So we're gonna do 1 set of tricep extension and 1 set of overhead extension. And there goes my headphones. So let's go ahead. Oh, my finger, I caught something. And put this bar. Nope. We're gonna put this bar on there. Right? Yeah. That's what's going on. Right. With that, try those tricep exercises, dips, and a superset, cable extensions, and cable up 1 overhead extension. You're gonna get a nasty tricep pump, and it's gonna hurt, and it's gonna grow, which is the good part. So we're gonna be done with triceps, and we're gonna do 2 shoulder exercises. So for chest push day, we're gonna do 3 chest, 3 triceps, 1 exercise, and a superset. And then for shoulders, we're gonna do 2 exercises. I'll show you what those are in just a second. Well, you know what? Someone in this gym is so kind and courteous. They put their own weight to that. So now when I go for 15 pounds to do shoulder press, I don't have to take off 30 pounds, and I'm already tired. and make me feel like it. And no one wants Chris Bumstead calling them a skinny bitch. And if you're strong enough to lift the weight, you're strong enough to put that weight. I wasn't kidding. 10-5. 15. Always. Oh, that was a good catch. Always practice safe sets. So I'm almost out of storage. I have to delete my recordings every time. So I'm only going to show one set. I'm going to actually do 3 sets. And let's move on to abs.
So guys, this is really gonna finish up my workout. I always do abs last, and then I'll do some cardio, but I always end it with abs. So today I'm just doing straight sit-ups.